Welcome to this segment of Soul, Silence, and Sound. This is brought to you by BeSimply.
Stars, trees, clouds, and the moon. They all have a meaning and they look just like you.
Soul, Silence, and Sound. We are here on a full moon moment here on the Pacific Northwest. And it tipped this morning. I don't remember the exact time. I want to say like 9-ish. And now here we are. So blessings for us. We'll have the second night in a row of seeing a magnificent full moon. And this is that go time. So based on where we are in this moment and where you are in this moment, it's an opportunity to take action today and over the next few days, and to harness the energy that you would like to hold for the remainder of this lunar cycle. So as we entered in after a wild ride, the last lunar cycle, we are still getting our sea legs, and there's a lot of filtering out that's happening and breaking through. And the beautiful part about all of this is that while you might feel different evaluations from the inside out and the outside in, that this is your moment just to refine a little bit and to really anchor in where you want to focus your attention. It's very easy to get distracted and not to be aware of actually what you're trying to focus on. So as I mentioned in the last two broadcasts, that focus is really important, especially if you're working to create change or building something right now, internally and externally. You want to really focus. All the great creators in the world, athletes, scientists, everyone across the board, they focus and they have a lot of discipline to get where they want to be. So just remember that. It's fine to have a little bit of downtime here and there just to recharge your battery. But remember that if you really want to build something, create something, contribute something, it takes focus, and you don't have to be everywhere. Like the phones try to make us be everywhere in a weird way. So with this full moon, part of what is happening is that there are a layer being broken through. And it's kind of like in our human body, we have a fascia, which is your spider suit, and it's this webbing on your physical body that will hold things in there. So if you have trauma, if you've had an injury that doesn't go away, this is usually some sort of something stored in your system. It can also be that you have a karmic thing, especially if you have an illness or some repetitive thing going on the physical, mental, and emotional body. And right in this moment, we're being given the extra gusto to push through these things within us that don't serve us anymore. And like literally, it's like taking a blower to your fascia and blowing it out and moving beyond into this extra beautiful layer of full potentiality. And when one is willing to surrender to that, one doesn't know what's on the other side of it. It's kind of like being in a deep meditation or a plant medicine ceremony. You push through to the other side, and you're all of a sudden in a world you could have never imagined even creating. And what this means once that happens is that this will sharpen some of your skill sets that you naturally have, your innate gifts. We all have innate gifts. They're unique to you. So in a society where we try to replicate and copy, and I say we, I mean everyone's under the influence of this, where they look over here and they try to do the same thing. Some of the platforms will do that where the trending, it's kind of like to get everyone to buy in and, do the same dance, cook the same recipe, talk about the same things. This has been a historic tactic for mind control. So as we allow our system to be filtered, like blowing out our fascia, it is making way so that you can step back into full potentiality. And that's actually what occurs within change or chaos. And chaos usually erupts when everything that you thought was going a certain way is all over the place. And you're like, whoa, I'm disoriented. I don't know which way is up. And that's where, you want to know what you were originally working on, what you were originally focusing on, so you can anchor in. Sometimes those moments can be so disruptive that you might need some insular time just to process, integrate, and redirect your compass to where you want to place it. And understand that if there's a dissonance, maybe in our society where we have been subject, pretty much, I think, for all my life, to being led, to being influenced by fashion, sports, news, politics, all these things, travel, anything you can imagine, we've been influenced, unbeknownst to us sometimes, to consciously observe it that way. So this is that moment that you're going to move beyond and really hold yourself accountable. What are you actually interested in doing? Because when we start to wear all these different masks to try to appease the world around us based on a manipulation of where they want our mind to go, it is a big disservice to yourself and others. And so what that means in this moment of really having discernment and starting to surrender to the things that maybe are causing you friction internally and externally. And usually when we are fighting something internally, this means that your soul is trying to communicate something to you, and your external self believes that maybe that you're supposed to do this, that, or the other, but there's this friction and it's uncomfortable and you're trying to find a resolve. And sometimes one will project that out to others in the outside world when really all the information they need is on the inside. And it's a process. So I encourage you, especially if you have time, no matter when this recording is meeting you, to really sit with, okay, I'm having friction on the inside. It really has nothing to do with the people on the outside. They might be holding up a mirror to what you're not comfortable with. This is the cool thing about inner work. They might be holding up a mirror of something that makes you uncomfortable. And that's where people will throw judgments and will separate themselves from people, places, and things, but without really objectively examining the situation and asking some really heartfelt questions about self, where one is not comfortable from the inside, and then really what this outside representation means. Because it's kind of like, on the big grand stage, these outside characters are archetypal at this moment in our society. And then in your personal life, the characters that show up are archetypal also, and they're reflective of something. And so when we get clear as to why they're there, then it gets kind of exciting as we start to find an inner peace, reconciliation, and a discernment for how we're to move forward. And sometimes when we are wrestling with ourself, because that's basically you're bringing it back in, your soul really knows the answer and always already has the answer. It's your external self that is potentially rejecting it or feeling like it has to do it this way. And the good news is that you are truly only responsible for you, to be the best possible you, if you so to choose, in every given moment, to the best of your ability. And that's all you need to really be responsible for. And as you become more and more responsible with your energetic field, you will become more self-aware, and then you will have the capacity to consider others. And that's really what is starting to happen as we step into this greater potentiality and moving beyond what we thought we knew, and letting go of the stuff that we want to try to fix, we want to argue about, we want to, say it has to be this way or that way. And really, we don't know. And that's why when one goes into a vision quest or a long silent retreat, or into certain medicine ceremonies that those are opportunities to see beyond that veil, and then to take the time to reintegrate that here into this physical moment. So as we step into this moon, which seems so beautifully timed, especially here in North America, it's often been known as the flower moon. And the flowers are, really, they are the divine feminines ode to us all. They have a fragrance. They invite you in again into that receptive place. And, they command your attention, yet they also teach us impermanence because they die off rather quickly. They go back to the earth and they become that compost. So they're showing us like, oh, you can really sip up this beautiful fragrance and enjoy it, be present with it, because it's going to give way back to the earth only to compost and come back up again, this regenerative energy. And that's as we step into this field of full potentiality at all times, this gives you more resources to receive and work with and create with, and step out of the old construct of, I think really we've been built on like scarcity, deficit, taking, all those kinds of things. And those aren't really intrinsically part of this ecosystem that we live in, Mother Nature and the cosmic nature of the universe around us. There's none of that. And so we're stepping out, if you so to choose, and move beyond. And it's really important to remember this, that I've said this before, but each and every one of us is evolving and transforming at our own rate. And each and every one of you before here has woven your reality that is unfolding around you. And at sometimes our reality that exists here and now feels unfair, unjust, all of these things, but we've literally co-created our microcosm and we've co-created the macrocosm. And then it's with our awareness and our learning and our transformation that from there we start to become more aware on an eternal level, so that in each and every moment we can make efforts that can contribute to our highest good and to the best of our ability, the good of 7 generations to come. And that's an exciting aspect to be. It's kind of like we dove into the deep end. We took our whole society down to the depths of the ocean, we'll say. And then now we're getting that chance to rise back up. And all that wisdom that we have gained in the descent, we are having the opportunity to rise up as those flowers continue to blossom through the rest of spring. And as those leaves continue to shed in the fall, if you're in a fall location right now, and then our brothers and sisters rocking steady at the equator, your attention and holding the scales even is really helpful for it all. So as we go into meditation today, I would love, and I'll lead you in there when we get ready to do that, but I would love for each and every one of you to think about for a moment as you go in as to where you are ready to, one, appreciate. Because it's really easy when we're in a state of maybe push, pull, shedding, realignment, calibrating, we're feeling the friction of something internally, that we forget to appreciate all the things we have. And especially this lunar cycle is really encouraging us to make change where we need to. And that sometimes we can get lost because we will be fixated on the thing that isn't working, when if we really look at and appreciate everything that is, that will help us see what we need to see. It's kind of like, okay, I have all these things that are really working well inside my being, inside my mind, my heart, my soul. And this is where I'm like kind of, maybe kidding myself, where I'm wrestling. And it's a super wonderful opportunity to get honest with yourself. And then if you are in a family unit, one to many, this is also a time you can get honest with the family unit that's in and around you, and where things are ready to calibrate. And the most beautiful thing that I witness when I'm working with my clients and students is that as they shift, their ecosystem shifts. And this is why the elders, indigenous elders, will say, your efforts, your imprint lasts for 7 generations. And kind of the universe speaking to me last week when I was recording about, for me to remember, quiet imprint, which is a beautiful one. It mimics the Tao and so forth. So we have this opportunity to really, by making our own change from within, it starts to shift the ecosystem and the world around us. And then all these people benefit from your single action from within. So awesome. And it's really beautiful for me to witness. People oftentimes don't believe that at first until they start practicing that way and things show up. Now, there is the other side of this, that let's say you start shifting and making changes internally, and the set and setting where you exist is not meant for you. Then some of those characters on your set, the people, places, and things, will fall away. And that's only because you're ready to move into the next. And this happens like when someone has a job, their set and setting changes and they might lose their job. Now that could seem catastrophic to the person in the moment. However, there's a seat someplace else, or an opportunity, or a business to build, or whatever it might be, waiting for that person. And so when we get more adept at listening internally and then taking that wisdom out into the physical world, we will live a much more harmonious reality, not just in this moment, but eternally. And we get this chance, especially right now, to really blow out some filters. So, and you might have been feeling it already the past couple days if you're listening to this real time, is that the outer world we literally are breaking on through to the other side, and it's awe-inspiring, like, wow, exciting, and the potentiality is really unexplainable from my vantage. And for anyone that's experienced states, lucid states, I'll call them, where it's mind-boggling what you're seeing, just know that that's going to be in and around us at all times. We've been a little locked up, keeping that at bay. So super exciting. And I hope that each and every one of you, no matter where you are in your state of being, inner transformation, outer transformation, whatever's rising up in and around you, that you embrace, because those, even if it's a micro shift, remember all of those matter. It's not about like the big sweeping, like throw everything off the desk and start fresh. Sometimes that might be necessary, but understand it's those small changes, those small shifts that build to a longer, more solid practice, whether it's, something for the physical body, the mental, emotional, and spiritual body. The small efforts build and compound and actually will remain stronger than if you go intensely at something. It's like if you're getting into a new workout routine, if you go intensely at it, and then you might wane, versus really building it methodically and sincerely, so that you can keep getting stronger and stronger. But again, it takes discipline. It takes a willingness to hold there. And the outcome is really awesome. You feel really great as you reach those levels with yourself. And then the same thing occurs in the inner work that one does, especially in silence. So as we go into this meditation, I just want you to take a moment before we fully lead in, is just to take a moment to see what naturally comes up that you appreciate, and just let it come in as like just an immediate, like what you appreciate. And then from there, just let that be a soft, like remembrance of the things. Remind me of the things I appreciate. And then when we come out, I'll remind you of something else on the other side. But I just want you to see the things that you appreciate right now. And I want you to hold those close in your heart. And then that'll just be a soft question that you leave there. And then I would love for you to bring your breath up into your heart center, and then bring yourself into an upright seated position. And then exhale out. Again, inhale. And exhale. Good. Another one. Inhale. And exhale. Good. And then from there, just continuing to observe your breath, breathing in and out. Gently from there, I welcome you to gently lean back and recline or move fully into Shavasana, a prone position on your back with your palms facing upward as we transition into receiving sound. As you settle in, just take a nice gentle breath into the heart and out. Again, inhale. And exhale. And one more inhale. And exhale. And then continue to follow your natural breathing pattern. Taking a soft, gentle breath in and out of your heart center, gently breathing in and out. Again, inhale. And exhale. Another one, inhale. And exhale. Good. And then gently from there, breathing in and out. Just taking a moment when you're ready to rise up into a seated position. Taking another deep breath in and out. And as you rise up, I just want you to ask yourself for a moment as we bring this full circle is one, just to give you a sense as you move out of this moment into the next where you're ready to have greater discernment, and to couple that with all the things you appreciate. You will potentially notice the gap there in where you need to have discernment. And then gently from there, taking a deep breath in and out. Again, inhale. And exhale. Good. And then gently from there, as you maybe notice and feel that pocket, that gap, just take a moment just to allow that to be. And then giving thanks for all that you are, every last aspect of yourself. Taking another deep breath in and out. Again, inhale. And exhale. And again, inhale. And exhale. And then gently from there, as you breathe in and out, taking a moment to give gratitude, thanks, kindness, and compassion out beyond here to a person, place, or thing, that you feel it might be needed, wanted, and welcomed. And gently from there, I just want you to remember that this aspect of appreciation, it's like appreciating what's in and around you, is like a receiving, and it helps you really see what you have versus what you don't. It removes that lack, and it brings in that regenerative, even like the analogy or the metaphor, the flower. You receive this flower and you have that flower for a moment, and then from there you also have the opportunity, as you are receiving, to discern. It's like giving yourself permission to discern, observe, and be objective. And both of those two things mimic that receiving and giving, because you're giving yourself permission to look around at things and not have blind faith, if you will. And those two things will serve you well, and they will also point you to the gap that might be in and around you, especially if in this lunar cycle you're feeling any friction internally or externally, but they're both related to the inside. This will be super beneficial to you. So then taking another, just gentle from there, deep breath in and out. Beautiful. And I would like to thank each and every one of you for being here in this moment. And I really am honored that you take this time to spend with yourself and to explore your inner landscape. And then for all of you, may your next be filled with joy, and may you move into your go with greater appreciation and greater discernment through the remainder of this lunar cycle. I want to thank Dante Marino, Random Rab, K. Drew Scott for all contributing in your own way. And until next time, this is Suzanne signing out with a full heart, a soft gaze, a deep bow, and a namaste. Be simply.
Something changed. It'll feel so strange now. And if you show what remains, I will never say no. And like a river flows, my love remains. And I'm not ready to let go. So please just stay. Jasmine, warm air and cinnamon wood burning. Children laughing and people passing. The world spins, but we just stand still. There was love, watched it fade. Don't you feel so strange now? And how do